tutorial for my Bloxels game engine playlist. You've created an account and you're in Bloxels, and this is what you're going to see. You're going to see maybe a different game than what I have here, but this is a playable game. You can do spacebar, arrow keys to jump, move around. There are enemies. You can do W, A, S, and D. And up here on the top right, it shows you who made the game, so that's cool. Up here on the top left, you'll see your username and your current avatar. You can see I've customized mine. Down below your avatar, you'll see various badges that you may have earned. You can click on avatar and you can change your avatar to something else. When you first start out, you will probably not have any choices there, but I will show you in a moment how to change your avatar. You have an inbox which will allow you to get messages from your teacher. You can of course log out, and you've got badges that you've earned. Let's close out of that. You can click on settings and you can up the volume, but that's going to get you things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and lower those just so we don't hear those while I'm recording. You've got the arcade, which will allow you to publish your games and share them with the rest of the community, and allow you to play other people's games so you can get some inspiration if you need it. All right, we're going to go ahead and click on Builder, and that's going to take us to this screen here. So you've got 4 main categories of any game. You can create new games, you can edit and delete old or existing games, you can create new characters, enemies, and that includes your avatars. You can make art, so you can make tiles and assets. These are blocks that you can move on. These are power-ups. These are things that you can pick up in your game, things like that. And then, of course, you've got backgrounds. So let's say you want to change your avatar. So the first thing you need to do is you need to click on Characters, and you're going to open up the Character Builder. Now, you probably won't see any of these here. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to press Delete on mine, and I'll go ahead and delete most of these. You can create a brand new character from scratch, and if you do that, you'll open up the pixel editor here where you can get all your tools. You've got your pixel grid here, you've got your color picker here. You've got 4 different animations for all characters, so that's really cool. I will have another tutorial that covers animations. The Bloxels company has definitely done a really nice job of putting out some basic tutorial videos. All right, I'm going to go back here, and you'll see that it did actually auto-save that one there, so I'm going to click on that one and just hit delete. Bloxels is very good at auto-saving. It doesn't tell you that it's saving, but it does, so that's just nice. But let's say you want to use some pre-made art. So I'm going to come down here to View All Assets, and you've got 3 tabs here. So you've got My Stuff, which is anything that you have in your own library. Then you can go to the class library. If you belong to a class and people save it to the class, you can then share your artwork with other people in your class, which is really cool. And then you can go here to Asset Packs. Now everybody is going to have access to the default, and so you can choose from that. However, if you're one of my students, you can actually click up here and you should now see different categories that you can choose from. So for instance, if I want to go here to Pirates, I can click on that and I'll see a variety of characters. And I'm going to go ahead and maybe click on this pirate character here. Okay, now if I click on the X, I'm going to cancel out of this. I want to click on Remix. Now I can either leave the character just like he is, and you'll see I can see an animation down here. That's his idle animation. Here's his walk animation, jump and fall. Now I can make a change if I want. If I want to make a change, I can click up here on the color picker, and I can come down here and I can paint and I can do all that. I just want to leave him the way he is. So I'm going to click back up here on my avatar editor, and I'm going to click on avatar, and now he's available. So now I can click him and he is now my avatar. Okay, so now I want to get into actually making a game. So I've got these 4 buttons up here. This is the game builder, the character builder, the art builder or assets builder, and the backgrounds builder. I'm going to go to game builder. So now I want to delete this old game here called Dungeon Escape. So I click on it, press delete, and delete. Create a new game from scratch, and you get the default hero character here. I'm just going to left mouse click and drag, put him right about there. And you'll see that I have these generic green tiles here, these blocks. and those are terrain blocks. The Bloxels company has put out a tutorial that goes over all of the blocks, so I will link that. And then up here on the top right, you have your kind of your navigator. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to save your game. So click up here where it says Untitled and give this a title. So I'll just call this Castle Escape. And the cool thing here is you can actually change the cartridge. I like that they did kind of an old school sort of look here. I'm going to go with that one there because it reminds me of a floppy disk. And then you can actually go ahead and change your icon a little bit. And then you can change the colors a little bit. It's minor, but it's kind of fun, and you can kind of change that there. So I'll just leave that as that. And when I'm pretty happy with it, I'll just click outside here, and boom, now it's saved, and there we are. Okay, so quick overview. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you have the basic creation blocks of all the main blocks. And there is even a story block here, so you can add in dialogue, so that's cool. And there's an eraser here as well. There are 3 tabs here. The first tab actually lets you lay down blocks. The second tab allows you to lay down custom assets, and that's assets that you've made or that you've downloaded. And then the wrench icon allows you to actually configure blocks. Okay, you have an undo and a redo here, and then you can take an image. This little button over here on the right will let you configure. If you click on it, it actually changes your hero settings. You can, of course, change the way your hero looks by clicking this edit button here, but then you can change all the sort of the mechanics of your character, jumping and attacking, life, the DNA of your character. It's pretty cool stuff. You can just click around and do some very cool stuff. You can change your background by clicking this middle button here, and you'll see I have really no backgrounds loaded here, but I can go to my class library and asset packs, and now I can go here to a whole bunch of different categories, like say forest, and I can choose any one of these here. I'll choose autumn, and now I've got an autumn background all made for me. And then I can click on the music note here, and I can choose anything I want. I'll go ahead and choose Lovely Day. Why not? There we go. And there we are. And it is auto-saving as I move along. Okay, so to finish up, I'm just going to add in a couple generic blocks, and I'm going to click on the green block, and that is a terrain block, and I'm just going to go ahead and left mouse click and paint some in here. Now if I left mouse click or right mouse click, it's going to do the exact same thing. Even if I use the middle mouse wheel, it will still add them in. So when you're in this mode, it's kind of just painting blocks. Now if I want to erase them, I have to click on the erase tool, and now I'm just going ahead and I'm erasing them as normal. If I choose a different block, like say this one here, this is the liquid or water block, now I can go ahead and I just turn those into water blocks. Okay, now if I want to go ahead and test this out, super easy, test it out, boom, you're now in full screen. You've got a bunch of really nice things. You've got a timer, you've got health, you've got how many items you've picked up, and again, I can use W, A, S, and D. I can use spacebar to jump, or I can use arrow keys. I'm going to go ahead and use arrow keys. And you'll see that I've got my main terrain blocks, and I've got a water area that I can actually jump in, and it's slower, and it just works, and I can kind of jump out, and I've got sort of a double jump already made. I go back up here to edit, and boom, I'm back into the editor. It's a really nice platform game editor, and it's already auto-saved. I'm going to add in a couple of other little things here just to finish up. I'm going to add in a couple little pickups. These are little gold coins here. And I'm going to move my character back over here, so he's kind of starting right over here. To navigate, this part is a little weird. It's a little clunky. It's this up here. You just click up here on the navigator, and then you'll see your entire terrain. And if you click the arrow keys, you'll see that I've moved my character to the center. And if I just click outside here, now my character's in the center, and I can then move my character wherever I want them to start. I find that moving your character is probably the best way to do it. But you really can't pan around. You can't see I accidentally added in some more pickups, so I have to erase those now. So this navigation's a little clunky. I wish it was better, but it's not bad at all. All right, I'm going to add in a villain. And I'm going to add in the villain right here. There we go. And so this is kind of a cool way of editing or making your level. You first just put in the categories. terrain, water, pickups, enemies. Then later on, you go in and you actually skin them and make them look really cool and then change the way they work. So that's kind of a nice way to work. And I've never really worked in a game engine that does that. So that's kind of cool. I'll show you the story block because I like that. And I'm going to go ahead and add the story block here. And I'm going to customize that. So I'm going to go to the wrench icon and I'm going to tap on the story block and I can add in some dialogue. And I'm going to just click and say, all right, and I should spell correctly there. There we go. Okay, and let's put in a comma. All right, danger. There we go. So I've got a story block. That's how easy it was. So that's pretty cool. And if I just click away, that's it. I can now go back over here and I can press test. So you'll see that I've got my story dialog block. And if I come over to it and I jump up, if I actually press shift, and actually I should have, I'm going to go back to edit, put my character back here, and I'm just going to move this down. Let's see, how do I move something? That's a good question. Here's the selection block. So here's how you move an existing block. I'm going to click on this little selection tool. It says drag to select blocks. So I'm going to select that block. And while it's selected, I'm going to click and drag it down. Okay? And then I'll just close out of this here and you'll see that I moved that down there. Okay, good. Now I'm going to test this. I'll go up, I'll come in contact with it. And when I'm in contact with the story block, if I press the shift key, it then, look at that. That's so cool. And then I can press shift again and then it comes out of it. And I can now go ahead and move on and I can go grab my pickups. And you'll see that it actually already has it. It says I picked up 1 of 3. And you can see the enemy is already coming for me. So the enemy already has some AI in it, which is really cool. Of course, I can customize it. The enemy has health, and I'm just going to totally destroy the enemy there. And there we go. I got 3 out of 3. The enemy was already going, so it's really kind of cool that it already has this. This is one reason why I love Bloxels over other game engines, is that it's got a lot of preloaded things already set up for it. Can it make any other kind of 2D game that you can possibly think of? I haven't tested that enough yet. I think it's really set up to do platformer games as opposed to, say, Galaga-like space shooter games. But I'm going to play with it some more and see what I can come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and end this tutorial here. This is just a quick editor. And then I will have other tutorials from the Bloxels company or from myself in the playlist. And you can see others. So I hope you enjoy this. And happy game making.